Yeah, Coach Liggins has done a great job at Portland. They've got they just really they're a really good team, and I think a lot of people got to see that at the PK 85. And it goes to the point of, when you can get power conference teams to come play on your court or in your city, there's not a huge difference. Look at the SWAC and the Pac-12. I mean, Arizona State's one loss this year is to our guy, Coach Jones at Texas Southern. I mean, Arizona State had a huge win last night over Stanford at home. They're 2-0 in the Pac-12 after they picked up a big win at Colorado the other night. And their only loss is at home to Texas Southern, or at Texas Southern. And you look at Colorado, who beat Tennessee, but the game before they beat Tennessee, they lost at Grambling. And so, there's a lot of parity when you're a mid-major and can get the high majors to come to your home court or play you at your place. It's an extremely difficult game. But I think Portland certainly is off. Is a team to watch out west. Utah State's off to a really good start out of the Mountain West. They're a team that. Their coach, Ryan Odom, he was the coach at UMBC when they upset Virginia in that 16-1 game. It's actually Dave Odom's son, who was the coach at Wake Forest in South Carolina. And he's done a really good job. You look at what Richard Pitino's done at New Mexico. They're off to a tremendous start. They beat a very good St. Mary's team. I think St. Mary's is going to challenge Gonzaga. I would look for St. Mary's to split with Gonzaga this year in the West Coast Conference. I think St. Mary's is really good. They played Houston down to the wire in that neutral site event I was talking about over outside of Dallas and Fort Worth. And so, I think those teams out west have really gotten off to a nice start. I think coming back east, St. Louis has done a nice job. They've picked up some really quality wins. I think they look like they're the class of the A10 at least to start here. Really underrated player. Not a lot of people know him. Is Yuri Collins, their point guard. He is just phenomenal. His assist to turnover numbers are through the roof. I think he had 20 assists in a game a couple weeks ago. Just a phenomenal player, and so. He's, I think St. Louis is a team to really watch. Dayton's been good, but they're a little bit banged up. And then, as you look at teams that have surprised, everybody knew UConn was going to be good, but I think they really made a statement when they went out to PK 85. And, they look like the best team in the Big East, especially after Creighton's been taking on some water here. They lost a tough one to Nebraska last night for their third loss in a row coming out of Maui. But I think UConn has looked really good. I'm a little worried about their point guard, and they kind of do point guard by committee and that sort of thing. But boy, they can shoot it. They've got a phenomenal big kid, one of the best big men in the country, and Adama down low, and they got a lot of guys who can shoot the ball. And so I think there's a lot of parity this year. There's a lot of teams that are jumbled up. And I think there's the teams that have taken some early losses that are going to get better as the season goes on and be right there at the end. I think Kentucky's a team like that. They picked up a big win over Michigan yesterday in England and in London. But I think Kentucky's a team that's going to pick up steam here as they move forward. I think UCLA is a team that had a tough one of those MTEs in Las Vegas. They lost 2 games in Vegas. With Illinois, and I can't remember the other game they lost, but they beat a good Oregon team. They're 2-0 in the Pac-12. I think they're a team that's going to get back rolling and be in good shape. And so, there's a lot of teams that are ranked high now that I think are could slip a little bit, and there's a lot of teams that are at the back end of the top 25 or right outside the top 25 that could really make a move. I'd really keep an eye on St. Louis. They have a good home win over Memphis. They've got some good neutral court wins. They had Auburn really in a tough position at Auburn. And Jordy, you've been to Auburn. It's the toughest place to play, in my opinion, in the SEC. And they had Auburn. They just missed some layups down the stretch, or they'd have beaten Auburn at Auburn. Auburn's ranked in the top 15. So I think St. Louis is really a team to keep a close eye on.